Hello guys, and welcome back to another skill point guide video for Total War Warhammer 3 on Immortal Empires. Today we're going to go over Belegar. I really enjoy his campaign. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I really enjoyed the challenge that it comes with, because you kind of get made to choose. Do you want to stay here, just go for Carrot Gate Peaks? Do you want to do a little bit of both? I really like the challenge. Plus, it's always fun going with the heroes and having access to the unbreakable side of things in that regard. Now, when it comes to Belegar himself, I like to go down his blue line first and get the Miner's Instinct, just because you're going to be going up against loads of greenskins on your way. Here already in the the Volts province, excuse me, to start with. And as you continue to go through the Badlands, you have more greenskins, you have more Skaven, and so I really do like the fact that I get to potentially intercept them and fight them. Now, don't really care about Wallmaster, Purebred, not really concerned about. Construction costs by 9%, not a big deal either. And so I really do like the Miner's Instincts for that aspect. But I do like to do the Purebred just to unlock Iron Will, just to get him some casualty replenishment rate. And make sure that since I basically use him as a tank up front, holds the line, he's able to do that. He doesn't have loads of armor piercing, but he's got decent melee stats to start off with. And he gets a lot stronger once you get some of his items here with magical attack, weapon strength, melee attack. Ward save, melee defense, and armor just makes him extremely powerful there, as well as his passive ability with his hammer, giving him more melee attack, more armor piercing, charge bonus, that kind of stuff. As long as his leadership is high, which as the dwarf, it's pretty easy to do. Now, going through it after this part here through Iron Willed, I like to go down his red line, just because you need to be able to defend yourself against the enemy. You're going to go up against a lot of force. If you sit around here too long, you'll have forces start coming from the west. They'll start attacking you, and eventually it comes to a point in the campaign where you just can't financially sustain the upkeep cost plus 50% until you recapture Carrot Gate Peaks. Like, you have to take it and get rid of that. It makes such a big impact when dealing with your enemies in terms of your growth. Now, before going down the red line, though, I do like to grab the Bane of Destruction, just to give yourself a bonus against the Greenskins and Skaven and Ogres. And again, you're going to be fighting all of those factions, all of those races on your way to Carrot Gate Peaks, and probably for a long time after that. So it's really beneficial that you grab that early on. And then come do his red line. I do Tactician for the missile strength and ammunition for my missile units, whether I end up going with Corralers, Thunderers, Rangers. Really, it's just what you can afford early on. And then personally, I also like to get some artillery before moving there. So I do the Thunderer for the ammunition and missile strength, and then I just like to grab Rally. Just like the blue line, though, I don't go all the way down his red line until it gets to the point where I kind of need it, because there are some other things that I do like to grab before finishing that out. And it's mainly down his special skill line. Now, unfortunately, with the Rally of the Holds, they did nerf that. It used to be plus 40 diplomatic relations. Now it's plus 5, so that basically does nothing. Because I guess his Rally is just really crappy now, and it just doesn't really matter. But the big one I like to grab is the Ancestral Guidance for his physical resistance, the hero capacity for Thanes, and also the fact that he unlocks recruitment for Thanes in all provinces. Really good buff. Really good bonus to his faction as well as his personal army. And then I like to grab Tonal Warfare for the melee defense, melee attack, and missile strength for Rangers. I do like to use Rangers in his army. They're very powerful. Makes for a really fun and thematic campaign. And then Age of Conquest is really fun. It gives him more campaign movement range, a faction-wide buff for the construction costs for settlement buildings, really beneficial there. And the Shattering Aura during siege battles, it's okay. It's better than nothing. It makes siege battles a little quicker because the AI will break a little bit in a area of effect of 35 meters. But other than that, I wish it were just battles in general. It would make it a lot better, but it's okay. The Oaths of Reclamation, I don't really am worried about really, it's a wasted point in my opinion. You're not going to have Belegar just standing around in a province, so the local province buff is a waste for Oath Gold. The leadership when foreign territory +3 is... It's something, but it's also nothing at the same time. And the charge bonus, anytime you see charge bonus for dwarves, you can just ignore it. Charge bonus for dwarves is absolutely useless. They don't have the speed to match up with the charge bonus. It's just a wasted stat. Don't worry about charge bonus when it comes to dwarves until they get maybe some chariots of their own someday. I don't know. I'm not too well versed in the lore, but if they were ever to get some form of moving and like fast mount other than a gyrocopter, then think about it. Other than that, I would never recommend getting charge bonus. And then the gather the old clans. Again, another local bonus. The recruit rank +2 is only for him. It's not global, so it's really... It's just not useful in my opinion, especially at this point in your campaign when you've put these many points into Belegar himself. You're not going to have him sitting around re-recruiting an army. More likely than not, you're going to have another army recruiting while he's still off fighting. So it's really just not that big of a deal in my opinion. Now, after this special skill line, I do like to go down his melee line though to make him a little stronger with more melee attack, or excuse me, melee defense, hit points. Ancestral Grudge is okay because you're going to be fighting greenskins almost all the time. So the extra weapon strength only when you're fighting them is pretty useful. Foe Seeker, Wound Maker is just in general, so that does help out. More melee attack, melee defense. I do like to grab a little more speed for him though, even though it's not that big of a buff. I do like more speed. More speed in general is better. Now charge bonus is different. Speed is always good. Deadly Onslaught as well will be good just to finish him out there. But I mean, even without any items, his stats are pretty good for a melee entity. He's small. He's got a gold shield, so he's going to be able to block loads of missiles. You just have to look out for a little bit of spells, Spirit Leech, things like that. And then just also lords that have magical attack and high melee attack and magical attack as well, because it doesn't have loads of physical resistance. So entities you're going to end up fighting there are going to be like Scarbrand. Depending on how far south you end up going in a campaign, you have way down south you have Kairos as well. But really just look out for magical attack, and then if it's just physical damage, you should be fine. You should be able to block it or absorb quite a bit of it with his armor and his melee defense and magical attack, and I guess armor piercing as well, because that'll bypass his stats of armor. Now after this though, this is when I do like to finish the red and blue line. I do like to do Dawi firepower. Makes your missile units get a little stronger with missile strength, reload time reduction, and missile resistance as well. And then I do Morgrum's favorite as well for your artillery. Again, ammunition, missile strength, reload time reduction, all good things there. And then stand your ground, just a really good way to buff up your front line as well. Now I personally like to do unflappable. The big reason is not necessarily the chance of intercepting again, because now it's through the roof. You're basically going to intercept everything that comes by you, but it's mainly about the ambush defense chance plus 80%. Any dwarf army that I create anyway is loads of missile units, some frontline infantry. Now I do like to use some infantry, but it's mostly missile units and artillery. So you need to be able to defend yourself against ambushes, or else that army is going to get wiped out. Missile units and those kind of armies just get absolutely annihilated in those situations, so definitely want to make sure you're protecting yourself there. Then I like to do Lightning Strike and Inquiring Mind, mainly for the research rate and upkeep costs. I know the research rate isn't that big of a deal with dwarves because you can get students, but the upkeep cost can come in pretty handy, especially depending on your situation. You may have lost 8 peaks or not captured it yet, so that -8 can help a little bit in terms of the negation of that. Now the last 5 skill points, I do like to do the obstinacy for the vigor loss reduction, so my army will fight better for longer. The Rune of Grimnir for some missile resistance, and then 3 points into Mentor. Really, when it comes down to it, the reason why I do Mentor with Belegar is just because dwarf lords in general for me are pretty lame in my opinion. There's just nothing a lot going on. They're basically like Belegar or any other, like Thorgrim. You know, they're just not legendary lords, and so they're just really basic. They don't really serve that big of a role other than tanking. And in order to have them be tanky, they need to be leveled up. And so I really like to get that extra experience, especially once he doesn't have much experience to gain anymore. I like to start sharing that as quickly as possible with my other lords, just so they can get to a higher rank much faster. That was a lot of talking, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on that bell icon if you guys are enjoying the content. And don't forget, again, down in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Always interested to hear how you guys end up going about leveling up a legendary lord there. But until the next live stream or video, I hope you guys have a good one. And until then, see you later. Bye.